Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm officially done with Animal Farm, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. I really do love this book and I really do love this cover. This book, I have read it at least 3 or 4 times. This is probably my fourth time rereading it. This book honestly has left such an impression on me because the book is based on animals revolting against their human farmers or owners, and it's such a really cool way on how George Orwell did that. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump right in. So Animal Farm is about these animals who are being treated unfairly on their farm by their farmer. I think his name is Jones. Yeah, I think his name is Jones. And one of the reasons why they revolt against their owner is because there's a really old pig named Old Major, and he tells them about a dream that he had. He said, I had a dream where we were free, we were able to take care of ourselves, feed ourselves, do things on our own without having to be told to do it, have certain times, have certain leeways, and being told that we can't do this and we can't do that. So not sure when that's going to happen, but we will be revolting against our human Jones. And what's amazing about this book is that this is told in a perspective of animals, not humans, animals. So I find it really interesting on how we get to perspective of animals, because there are some books on animal perspectives, but not a lot of people are into that. So I think this is a really good introduction. If you like animals and you love and you want to know what animals think or what is happening, I suggest you start with Animal Farm. It's such a really short book. There's only 100 pages and chapters are really, really short. There isn't much dialogue in the book, which is, if you like dialogue, then that's fine. If you don't like dialogue, it's also fine. To me, I'm more of I want dialogue, but I also don't want dialogue if there's no purpose for the dialogue. Don't know if that makes sense to you, but it makes sense to me. But regardless, it's such a good book. So Old Major has this dream, and he tells his animal comrades that, yeah, we're gonna live during happy times, and that we're gonna be living during happy times, and that we are going to be free and living out of tyranny. So a couple days later, after he does that dream, Old Major does die. So a couple days later, Major does die. And then his animal friends, they started to realize that their owner, Jones, is constantly drunk. So he constantly forgets that he needs to feed them, they need water, and that they need to be milked. So he's not doing his job. So they decided to just get rid of Farmer Jones. They actually have a full-on battle between the animals and the farmers, and so they get Farmer Jones out of off the farm to where now the animals are in charge. But the animals are being run by two pigs. At the beginning of the story, it's two pigs. It's Major. No, sorry, not Major. Napoleon, and Snowball. Napoleon, to be more, I guess you could say, a little bit more accurate, it's not really Hitler, but more like Stalin in a way, is the best way you can describe it. And then you have Snowball, who's very loving. I don't know. It's a little bit confusing because I don't know much of Stalin to give you more of a to give you more of a background. But if you know who he is and you know what he is and you know what he stood for, that's who Napoleon is. That's who Napoleon is. So we don't like him. But anyways, yeah, so Snowball is telling the animals that, yeah, we want to teach you how to learn to read and write so you can understand what is happening around your world. As for, well, sorry, Snowball wants to teach the other animals how to read and write so that way they can know more about the world. Napoleon, on the other hand, doesn't really care if they know about the world or not, because he has his second in command, which is Squealer, and Squealer will tell them lies of what is happening around the farm, and it just creates like tension between the animals and Napoleon. Snowball isn't really part of that until it comes to choosing a leader, because Snowball wants to create a windmill to produce electricity to keep the animals warm during cold winters. But Napoleon is for it, but he's for it in his own way, to where it doesn't benefit the animals, but it benefits him. And everything that the animals do, it doesn't benefit them in any way, shape, or form. It benefits Napoleon. It benefits his narrative. But he gets rid of Snowball because Snowball doesn't fit that narrative. So he basically sends dogs to go out and kill Snowball. And once Snowball is out of the picture, Napoleon has the full run of the farm, to where he changed the amendments that they have first created when they took over the farm, to where he'll change like the amendments word, like not all of it word for word, but he'll just add in like a couple words to change the meaning of what the amendment is. And the animals, they don't really know or remember much of when Jones was in charge. So they take everything that Napoleon says to heart and that it's true. To where when they realize that they messed up big time is when one of the horses, to where one of their old horses, I believe his name is Boxer. I think his name is Boxer. Let's see if I can find him for you. You're fine. Boxer, yeah. To where the old horse is named Boxer, and a Boxer is such a hardworking horse. He will do anything and everything to make sure that everybody is well taken care of, and everybody respected him, everybody loved him, until he got injured while he was rebuilding the windmill, because humans came back, they destroyed the windmill, so now they have to rebuild it again. And so Boxer rebuilds it, or at least he tries to rebuild it as best as he could, until he fell down and basically he can no longer get up and work. To where this is where Napoleon tells the animals like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get somebody from I'm gonna get a vet to come in and take Boxer to this really nice special hospital to take good care of, and he'll come right back to us, and I'll make sure he goes to retirement a well happy horse. No, that that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. And I think that's the realization of where the animals are now truly starting to realize that their leader isn't who he says he is. Like that's not really the turning point. That's just more of like that's the first official thing that they see that they don't like. And then when you get to the end of the book, they starting to realize that Napoleon is making deals with the human farmers. And now everything is starting to make sense to them. Like there's no point of getting rid of Napoleon, because with Napoleon gone, the humans are coming back. So either way, they're going to lose, because they can't tell the difference between a pig to a man to a pig, because to them, they're all the same. And I think that's what I like about this book is that in this animal perspective and in this book, it just teaches you a lot about how certain people go through life or what they've been through. So it's just really interesting. I really do like this book. And I keep going back to this book because just like how I read Tender of Flesh multiple times, it's not really a comfort read. It's just more of like, I haven't read this book in a while and I'm really feeling it, so now I'm going to read it. Also, if you haven't seen the movie Animal Farm, and I'm not talking about the new one, I'm talking about the old one, the old cartoon one, and the old live action one. Those two, if you watch any of those two, those are more representative to this book than the new one that just came out. The new one, we're not gonna get into it, but the new one, I just don't watch it. I just don't watch it. If you watched it, great, but I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch it. But anyways, I hope you like this review. I'll let you know what is my next read, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.